The myth of Floyd Mayweather. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao. A lot of Floyd Mayweather training clips. Talk about how it equates to his training or to his fights. Kind of we fight how we train style. We're going to get a lot of looks at who Floyd Mayweather is as a fighter, his flaws, the advantages of being him, why it's effective. It's going to be a super in-depth Floyd Mayweather film study from the perspective of the best striking coach on the planet, Matt Fouts. That's me. I'm the first person in history to be able to teach punching power to anybody, every single mechanic, to be able to teach punching power to man or woman, and not just how to punch hard, but how to punch your hardest, and then how to improve your punching power to elite pound for pound punching. Okay, so check it out if you guys want all the drills, all the stuff. It's like over 40 hours of content in the Fouts Boxing Combat System in the description below. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into Floyd Mayweather. We're going to be talking about who he is as a fighter. Now, first off, Pacquiao comes in with the jab here, and Mayweather pulls away. Okay, and then the second jab comes, and we can see Mayweather's lead hand here looks to interact with that lead hand here. So he sees that shot coming, and as Pacquiao brings his rear shoulder forward, Mayweather looks to interact with it. Okay, so he sees all these little beats coming 15 seconds into the first round of Mayweather Pacquiao. And also, Mayweather and Pacquiao are fighting again. So, part two, very, very interesting. So some film study prep for that. But Mayweather sees all those moves coming, right? Now, he moves straight back. And again, I'm not gonna spoil anything. We've got a lot of clips and a lot of stuff to talk about. Again, full, complete Floyd Mayweather theory breakdown on his entire fight style. Now, stepping jab here, right? We're going to see him get a little bit of lead hand control, but this is just one of those things very early in the fight after establishing his range. He's going to okay, maybe I can stepping jab. Maybe I can stepping jab. He's not even trying to hit him. He's just trying to throw it at the glove to see if he can get close enough, right? That's his first step. I'm going to throw it at the glove, and if he tries to counter me, right, well, I wasn't in range anyway, right? It's not even going as deep as his head. Maybe he can sneak one in, okay? Now, a lot of first contact, okay? The first thing you do when you get there, right? He gets planted, stepping jab, stepping jab. We're going to talk about a lot of this stuff. Pacquiao gets on the line with a feint, hard feint jab, and to watch him penduluming, he's going to come down. He's going to be creating a structure, crossing the line with the two, and Mayweather is jumping off the line. And as he jumps off the line, we're going to talk about this pendulum step backwards as Pacquiao is actually pendulum stepping forward. We can see actually him reaching out with his lead hand here, right? That's the time. Sometimes he throws it. I think he chooses not to. He doesn't want to make Mayweather aware of it. We're going to see that a little bit later. But look at Mayweather at the end of it, kind of check Pacquiao, right? Give him a little bit of like what, right? Gave him a little bit of that hand action to see, can I sneak a punch in here after we played our little game there? Okay, now, continuing forward, Pacquiao's coming forward, trying to get into a position where he can cross Mayweather's line. Mayweather's controlling him with that lead hand control. Now, this is not a punch. Okay, he's planted. He's just sticking his lead hand out there, and Pacquiao's pulling. Notice he's getting his weight down. Okay, this is going to be very, very, very important in the future when we talk about pull counters and stuff. But Mayweather controlling space with his lead hand here. He's planted already. He's just seeing what Mayweather or what Pacquiao wants to do. And this is the structure that he might use to set up his stepping jab. He's already in position, and it's just as easy for him to throw the stepping jab as it is to do that if he chooses to. It's not as easy, right? But it'll look very similar. The timing, it's not going to alert Manny Pacquiao. He's already got control of the line on that timing and that rhythm. He's already giving him beat, right? Beat, right? He hasn't decided, I'll throw a stepping jab yet. Pacquiao's already kind of playing around it, moving, and what I like to call weaving through the line. Okay. Now, as he's checking the line to see that stuff, that's also giving him a baseline to figure out what he's going to do and what Mayweather, wants to do off of his jab. Okay. Now, Pacquiao already coming forward behind that kind of double jab timing, right? So he's going to make it to the front foot, the back foot, front foot, and he's going to be here. He's going to jab. And as he's penduluming, because he's going to try to get lead foot dominance, Mayweather knows that it's going to be an extra beat. Mayweather's trying to interact with him on the next beat, try to isolate him from his jab. okay, because he needs to be able to throw his jab, to be able to set up his combinations, to be able to get lead for dominance, to be able to break the distance down between him and Mayweather. Otherwise, he's going to get stuck on the outside. So he tries to cover that beat with the jab, and Mayweather's like, okay, I'm not worried about that jab, no big deal, and I'll just try to go next. Okay, this is what I like to call second contact. Okay, so Mayweather, I think overall as a fighter, is very, 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 very good at first and second contact. But we're going to talk about a little bit of his flaws and why he's not good at third and fourth and long sequences and stuff. Now, after he disrupts his line, it's very, very, very important. He controls his head. Now, this tactic that Mayweather has, where he'll throw a punch if his opponents are trying to pull, he'll hold their head down, allows him to find a free punch here. But look at Mayweather's structure. Is this a good structure? Is his head in a good position? Is his back leg is it set up well? What about his shoulders? What about the rest of his body? What about where his head is in the center of his line? Does he have good defense? Is he in a good position to throw another punch or to do another move here? You might argue some. But he's also very, 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 very easy to hit from here if Pacquiao was trying to hit him and not trying to stop having his head pushed down. And as Pacquiao tries to leave the line while his head is being pushed down, Mayweather tries to smack him, right? But again, we can see a huge flaw in his structure here. Okay, his technique is not good for power punching. He doesn't generate good power. And again, we're going to talk a lot about why and what he's doing wrong. Now, again, controlling. It's not a stepping jab, just controlling the space, right? And then leaving the line. He's never there for very long. He doesn't want to be in range of you. Controlling this shot. And again, Pacquiao's got a pendulum. He still has to close the distance to get in range, get lead for dominance, comes down, and Mayweather throws a sick right hand. Again, beautiful first and second contact from Mayweather, able to control the line of Pacquiao's lead hand with the lead hand control. Now he's going to give Pacquiao some space. Pacquiao's going to predictably go with that jab, right? Try to get lead for dominance, and Mayweather's going to try to attack him on second contact. Boom, boom. Okay. Not bad. Okay. What does Mayweather do after that? Does he follow it up? Does he have any defense? Okay, we'll talk about it a little bit later, okay? Because you're not just going to get away with that same move over and over and over again, okay? Now, as we talk about a baseline for Mayweather, Pacquiao doesn't know if Mayweather gets here, if he's going to throw a stepping jab, or if he's going to do lead hand control, right? Pacquiao doesn't really know. It could be either, and there's not enough time for Pacquiao to figure it out. So Mayweather has this baseline of controlling the lead hand, and now he can explode into the jab, boom, or do something else, right? Stepping jab, okay? Or he's going to get there. Now, real quick, we're going to talk about this. I like this stuff. It's funny. You see how he's kind of got his hand up there like he's in a choo-choo train? Woo, woo. This is his right hand feint. And this is because of the fact that he fights in such a bladed stance. He doesn't really fight, people call it square or whatever, but he doesn't understand where his feet are supposed to be in relation to his target. Okay, he doesn't understand how to line his feet up so that he can hit the guy, right? Because also he doesn't have any head movement. He's always trying to be in this very static position, right? This very linear position, complete dominance over the line. He doesn't have a very active guard. But he does have a lead hand control, like, Anthony Joshua style. But he has real tricks off of it, right? Which is good, but we're going to talk about, again, limited stuff. Okay, again, getting that lead hand control, giving him a fake little hook around the guard instead of lead hand control. And Mayweather's trying to see, could I sneak in a lead hook right here instead of my jab? Very similar timing. If you get the guy to parry your jab, you go around the guard with the hook. He does it to the orthodox guys all the time, right? So he's checking the line to see if the guy's going to be open for a lead hook. So we've seen him open up with the jab, stepping jab. We've seen him open up with the rear hand. We've seen him checking the line for the hook. And now we're going to see him break into a right hand to the body, okay? Off of that lead hand control timing. Here he goes, giving him timing, bop. And now he's going to pendulum, bop. And now he's going to throw this boom, right? And he's got the shot to the body. He had Pacquiao controlled with the jab. Pacquiao didn't try to pull and counter or anything, and he tried to steal this shot. Okay, nothing wrong with that. What does he do with this structure here? Look at his feet. Is he in a good position? Is he on balance? Would you guys trust him there to be in that position? Would you trust yourself to be in that position in front of Manny Pacquiao? Stepping jab. Again, Pacquiao has to decide. Is it going to be lead hand control? Is it going to be a stepping jab? He gets a little bit surprised. Again, Mayweather's strong. He's fast. He's hard to fight. He's in shape. Now, again, Pacquiao gives him just a little bit of a fade, like, here you go. And then Mayweather goes, don't you come under my line, and throws his fastest, hardest, sharpest, fastest shot. Everyone who's fast and everyone who boxes knows how hard it is to just be doing whatever you're doing. You're minding your own business. You're in the grocery aisle, and just break out into a hard shot like this. Everybody knows. And it's not easy to control space like this against a guy when all he has to do is give you a little bit of a jab feint here, and now you're exploding into this position. And now, again, is Mayweather going to fight out of that position? Is that a good position for him? Okay, we're going to see. We're going to see. Got a lot of clips. I'm sure you can look at the timer. I don't have a timer yet. Now, comes in, gets control of the jab. Boom. Mayweather doesn't exactly have control of the jab, but he's going to pendulum off the line. Misses the shot. Now, Pacquiao pendulums forward. And just like last time, instead of Pacquiao throwing his cross, he didn't throw his cross or even check the line, but Mayweather landed with the expectation that Pacquiao wasn't going to defend his position or look to counter when Mayweather stuck his hand out when he reacted last time. So he throws a jab, scores a point. Brilliant. Moves off the line and right back to resetting. Right here they are at first contact. Pacquiao goes first contact, second contact. Boom, they reset. Now they're at parity. Boom, Mayweather gets first contact attack and leaves. And there is no reason that Pacquiao could not have been able to defend that punch. None. Zero. Okay, it was a completely new sequence. Okay, I mean it's kind of chained together, right? But now again, Pacquiao using that same double jab timing, right? Mayweather controlling the lead hand, controlling that timing with the stepping jab, boom, and then getting off. Pacquiao decides he's going to go first, flicks out his jab, gets his lead foot dominance. Mayweather times him perfectly, boom. Now, well, what is Mayweather supposed to do here? He's landed this punch a few times. He timed it perfectly. Well, number one, if you time a punch perfectly and you knew you were going to land it and all that good stuff, you know, you're going to throw it hard, right? Boom, right? So again, here's a little bit of evidence, right? When you land a perfect shot in a real fight, you usually hurt that guy, right? You usually hurt that guy, okay? Now, we're going to talk about again why Mayweather doesn't have punching power. It's coming up soon. Don't worry. But more importantly, why is he not looking to follow this up? Why is he not throwing a combination? Well, Mayweather looks funny when he throws combinations because he doesn't move his head. The way that he throws and structures his punches, he can't really throw punches in combination. He kind of looks silly. I'll give you guys an example here. But he's going to throw, boom, and he's all wide. He doesn't really have any head movement. When he throws his punch, he actually gets hit and maybe a little bit hurt because, well, a few things. He doesn't move his head. Let's take a look at this clip here. Pulling. Not that clip. Is it this one? Pull. These are all pull counters. But or his version of pull counters. We're going to talk about those a little bit later. But Mayweather doesn't fight out of this position here. Once he gets to this position on the front foot, he doesn't throw his left hook. He doesn't throw a left hook to the body. He doesn't throw a left cross. He doesn't chase people with a leaping left cross, right? He'll throw a leaping left hook or a lead left hook, right? But he won't do it from what I call position one on the front foot, the way that I teach boxing in my Fouts boxing combat system. Again, check it out. But he doesn't teach that, or he doesn't do that. He doesn't fight from that position. So when he throws that punch, he has no choice but to leave the line, right? And this is not a good position. He doesn't have an opportunity to move and to follow this up. Okay, this is very, very, very important because Mayweather doesn't do what are actually traditional pull counters. Okay, we're going to take a look at some traditional pull counters here. We'll take a look at this one here first. Here's Ryan Garcia coming forward. He's going to, and here they are in the open stance. Again, these things work in the open stance as well, but he's going to bust out into this hook. Tank Davis is going to duck it, pull, come up, throw a hard shot. he creates a great structure when he gets to the ground and comes up with a beautiful, beautiful hard shot. Okay? Now, we've all seen Mayweather's pull counter. We all have seen modern day pull counters as well, right? Like what I've been teaching is a real pull counter. Okay? And what Mayweather does, I know that there's some thing to it, but Mayweather doesn't get his weight to the ground when he does his pull counter. He brings his head up. Okay? And I guess we're going to talk about a little bit of that right now. We'll talk about the training footage in a little while. But this is a pull counter in the open stance. He pulls, he gets his weight to the ground, and now he can come up with the 2-foot punching structure. Okay? Now, Fouts Boxing Combat Theory, my 2-foot punching theory is that when you throw this punch, you're going to be driving from both feet, not just the one that's rotating your, people assume is rotating your hips, the one on the back that's going to be doing the putting out a cigarette, right? How you pivot on the back foot, people think. But actually a lot of it is driving the weight from the front foot and being able to punch with both legs and both feet, not just what people think is the rotation from the back as you swing your left arm forward. Okay, it's not really how it works. There are a lot of misconceptions about striking and how punching really works. Again, I'm the first person in history to ever figure out how it all works. Not only that, but also create an entire combat system around it to teach boxing, to teach you to actually, as we have Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, both these guys are incredible punchers. And there's something very, very, very specific that both of these guys do with every part of their body, including their hands. And if you guys want to learn what that is, check out the Fouts Boxing Combat System. Again, I'm the first person in history to figure out exactly what all the factors are to punching power. Okay, and you want to punch, you want to be fast like Tank Davis. A complete system designed with all the most efficient drills and the most efficient ways to learn not only how to set up your offense, but how to fight off of your offense as well. Okay, now again, we're going to continue along. We got a lot of film to go over, but it's an excellent pull counter from Tank. And now he's going to give one off of his own jabbing probe. He baits Hector Luis Garcia into throwing a right hand, and now he's overextended, and he's going to come up, and again, he goes down and comes up 2, 3, and throws a combination off of a pull counter. And again, these are things that Mayweather can't do. Okay, sequences like this, where he gets on the line with the jab and then he can pull off of a bait shot down, up into a sequence. Have you ever seen Mayweather do something like this? And real quick, we're going to take a look at some of Mayweather's pull counters. Very, very, very important. But he always has that very particular, that Ali pull straight back phantom punch right hand thing, right? Now, look at what he does when he gets to the front foot. Okay, number one, look at his structure. Okay, we can see, I mean, this is a bad clip, but we can see that his heel is off the ground when he throws his punch. Both of his feet are actually off the ground, and when he's in the air, he comes down, and look at what he does with his front leg. He doesn't fight out of this position at all. He doesn't block left hooks. He doesn't slip punches to this front foot. Have you ever seen him slip a punch like this? I mean, I know he does, like, very rarely, and he did. There's a very famous one where he slips a jab and hits Canelo with the right hand, and everyone's like, ooh, because they've never seen Mayweather do that before. But Mayweather doesn't really fight out of that. He doesn't really transfer or get his weight to the ground. He doesn't really do defensive moves, catching and blocking punches. When have you ever seen him catch or block a punch? He doesn't practice these structures. He doesn't practice that stuff. Then he falls off balance here when he has to fight someone who, like, kind of can do that stuff, you know? Here's a really, really good example. Pull. He moves back, throws his shot. And look at Berto jabbing at him. He's pulling up. Berto's going to pull down. Gets under that shot. Now, Mayweather does have a trick, and we're going to see it in the film study for Pacquiao. We're going to go back to it. We got a lot of stuff to take a look at, but check this out. Okay, here's the shot. Boom. He tries to post. He tries to get control of him because he'll throw that shot, and then instead of trying to fight and block punches here and try to catch punches or follow up and throw combinations, instead of fighting, he tries to get a hold of you, grab you, or put his hands on top of your head and hold you down and stuff. And he doesn't wind up getting his post off after his rear hand pull counter, right? And he pulled, he brought his head up, threw the shot. Pacquiao got under it. or Berto got under it, and now he's countering him, and he hits him with a hard shot there. Okay? Boom, 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 boom. Because once your opponents get used to this stuff and you miss your post or you miss that, you're going to get hit. Just like boxing is supposed to be. Okay? Now, we're going to keep going. We have a lot of clips to go over. Here we go. So again, first contact, Mayweather. He's so fast. He's so strong. He's so athletic. He practices. He trains so hard. Stepping jab. Pacquiao trying to find space. And look at Pacquiao feinting him, trying to get him to throw that rear hand. Right? He's seen that rear hand attack him a few times when he throws this jab. And now here he gets him to throw it. And again, it's not easy to throw your fastest punch at somebody to control space. It takes an incredible amount of energy. Right? And Mayweather's not really getting paid off for that. Is he ever going to be made to pay for it? Is he ever going to get countered? Right? Is he ever going to have to pay for that move? Now, another common Floyd Mayweather move, stepping jab to the body. Again, finds a decent control, right? He gets to the position where Pacquiao thinks it's going to be just a control, and then he moves into a stepping jab, moves his head down, gets his head off the line for that beat. Pacquiao's not in position to counter him. He's mostly safe to throw the shot. Okay, perfect. Good shot. Can he defend that position? Is that a position that he can fight off of if Pacquiao defended it or caught it or blocked it or his hands up or this or that? Moves off the line. Again, this is not free. Okay, I want you guys to understand it's not just free to do this, right? It's not low energy. This is a full body throwing yourself around, right? This is an exercise. People do that for exercise. That move that Mayweather just did. Okay? It's called a pendulum step if you're new. Controlling space. Mayweather's waiting for Pacquiao. Look at how he's opened up his legs. I love this, right? He's not pivoting on the front foot. Look at how big of a look at how square he's moving, but he knows that he's going to attack. He's going to get attacked. So he's trying to parry it. Brilliant, right? Pretty good. Now, getting back to his, and this is really important too, okay? Is Mayweather circling right now? Like, you see the old greats circling and moving and rolling and, doing all this stuff as they, circle their prey, right? He's kind of planted, right? Again, this is going to be a very important idea when we talk about it later, okay? Now, again, Pacquiao feints him. He throws a hard one, throws a hard two. I think he lands this one kind of in the chest. Now, where does Mayweather go? He throws a one, boom, two. Does he fight out of this position? Does he wait? Can he pull counter? Can he do this? Can he do that? No, he can't. He rolls immediately off the line. That's nothing wrong with that. He's not paying for it, right? So it's no big deal. But again, fighting on second contact right there, right? Waiting for Pacquiao to go first. Hey, go first. Do something. Pacquiao catching the jab here, right? Now, anybody who practices boxing knows how hard it is to do this. Stepping jab with enough power and athleticism that your opponent is not able to immediately counter you. It's not free. It's very high energy. It's a very high cost. Now Pacquiao's coming forward, back, trying to get into a position to see if he can get Mayweather to attack him, right? Trying to bait him a little bit, makes it to the back foot, and Mayweather blasts forward with the hook, and now leaves the line. Now again, very, very, very high energy move, okay? And this is what he has to do to keep Pacquiao from getting close enough to him to hit him with punches, to throw combinations, because we know Pacquiao can throw combinations. But check this out, you guys. How often do you see a guy get so much control of a guy and not just hit him in the face? He got the guy to sit there. He didn't hit him. He didn't follow up. He's going to move around here. He's going to throw this hook here. He's got so much control of Pacquiao. Look at Pacquiao. Look at the position that he's in. Isn't this the position that you hope that you get your opponent in? Isn't this a position that as soon as you start throwing punches at a beginner, they wind up going, oh, don't hit me. And then you can't really just wail on him, but he's in a beginner position here. He didn't defend his line. He completely sacrificed his entire position. He doesn't have his guard up. Mayweather put him in this position by surprise, and he's not following up because Mayweather doesn't really punch to hurt you. He doesn't really look to land hard punches and clean hard punches. He's looking to control time and space. He's looking to hopefully keep you out of position long enough, steal enough shots and get off the line, and just prevent you from scoring with as many moments of the fight as possible by just throwing something fast and athletic at the line. Oh, you threw a feinting jab at me? Now I'm just going to throw my hardest, fastest jab, or my hardest, fastest right hand. I got my hardest, fastest. And Pacquiao either has to get hit because Mayweather is so fast, or he has to be wary of those shots and figure out a way to how to fight off of them. Okay? Now, these are very high energy moves. They're not free. Okay? Pacquiao's coming forward. Boom. Gets to this position. Triggers Mayweather. Miss. Mayweather threw a hard shot. Right? Now, how many times can Mayweather throw the same punch in a row before he gets cracked? Well, according to Tank Davis, anyone who throws the same move 3 times in a row is an idiot. Because he knocked out Leo Santa Cruz 3 straight right hands in a row, knocked him out, boom. So you've got 3 minutes in a round, and every time you get close to Mayweather, he's going to control space with a jab. He's going to control space with the right hand. He's going to control space with a left hook. How many of those can you throw? How many combinations until your opponent picks him up? Because we've seen that Mayweather can't throw any of those and then fight off of them. We've seen that he can't throw a jab like Tank Davis. We've seen that he can't get here, bait a counter, get under it, and come back. So his jab is more of a liability, right? Because it doesn't actually set up any additional offense. So when Mayweather runs out of time, runs out of space, he gets put into these positions where he's going to do this fake Philly shell stuff, right? And now he's going to completely duck below the waist when he's out of position. This is illegal. But Mayweather doesn't have any other options, right? He's thrown his jab so many times, his stepping jab so many times. He's thrown the hook as many times as he feels comfortable. He's thrown the rear hand probe and the right hand counter to the stepping jab so many times he doesn't want to walk into it. So he ducks below the waist, and now check this out. He takes his left arm, and now he's holding. Right? And this is not the clinch. Okay, I know people just, they're clinching, right? But that's not what's happening. Clinching is with the arms. This is holding. This is wrestling. There's a clip of Jose Luis Castillo fighting Mayweather in the first fight, and he gets a hold of Mayweather's hip in the 4th round, and Mayweather tries to pendulum step away, and Jose Luis Castillo is dragged with him and keeps hitting him the whole time. Mayweather literally cannot get him off of him. And that's why this is illegal. It's illegal, Andre Ward. It's illegal to grab your opponent by the body. Pacquiao literally cannot take a step to create space to throw punches. But this is what Mayweather has to do, because when he throws his punches, he doesn't find a way to get his structure back to the ground because he does not have a system of combat. Okay, and we're going to talk about his mitts. We're going to talk about his stuff. We're going to talk about it when we look at the training footage. Don't worry, we have a lot of stuff to cover. But this is illegal. And here's the thing: is even if you only gave Pacquiao credit for scoring here, and you didn't take a point away from Mayweather for cheating, and again, it's 2 infractions. Okay, ducking below the waist, removing all the legal targets, right? And again, check this out, you guys. This is the time where you throw a punch at a guy, boom, and now you pull counter him. But Mayweather doesn't do that. He fundamentally misunderstands what you're trying to achieve by getting to the ground, by getting under a punch, how to throw a punch, what you're supposed to be doing with your feet. Okay, and if this wasn't the case, Mayweather would have many more knockouts than he does. I mean, he could hit anybody clean. Anybody, right? He could find a way. But you only get so many opportunities at these kinds of tricks. Okay, that was at the end of the first round. This is the beginning of the second round here. Again, he's great at first contact here. He has complete control of Pacquiao. Pacquiao doesn't surprise him with his jab entry from the back foot. Boom, trying to get planted, get lead for dominance. Mayweather picks him off. And again, his first instinct is to pull straight back. Okay, very dangerous. He doesn't look to fight from that position or defend his position or follow up. Okay? Again, and thinking about the idea that the guy doesn't follow up is very, very, very important. It's very important that you understand that this plays a huge part in your overall fight philosophy. Because if you can't knock your opponent out, they're gonna keep coming. And if you're not allowed to duck below the waist, what options do you have? Well, Mayweather has his jab, he has his right hand, he has his left hook. Sometimes he can peel, sometimes he can do, but if you're not allowed to duck below the waist, and he's throwing his fastest and his hardest shots to counter, the cost of business for fighting is very high. And if a guy trains hard enough to be able to throw 200 punches around, but you're just going to duck below the waist and then hold him so he can't fight you, that's not boxing, guys. Right? That's not really what's going on. Right? Controlling the lead hand, trying to pick him off, and again, can Mayweather do this for 12 rounds? But also, what if they start setting up pull counters against him? Now again, ducking below the waist, and look at how far he is. His head is on Pacquiao's knee. Okay? His left arm is around Pacquiao's body. Why doesn't Mayweather throw a punch? Well, here he is controlling space. Pacquiao's getting ready to attack that. He's like, okay, I can fuck with that. I'm coming. And then Mayweather's like, sucker. Here comes that feint. Again, Pacquiao is trying to actively draw this attack out now. Right? So that means that this is not a good attack for Mayweather right now, even though he did kind of just get Pacquiao with it a second ago. But Pacquiao is drawing this move out. It's not getting him, and it's costing Mayweather a lot of energy. It's a very high energy move. How many can he throw how many can he do in a row? Right? Does he have to do something new now? Well, the ring is cut off. He doesn't have any space behind him. This is where Pacquiao is supposed to get paid off. This is why they're in a ring in the first place. This is why, Joe Rogan, they don't fight in a football field or in a stadium. Right? But ducking below the waist, right? Grabbing by the arm, right? Or grabbing his body. And again, now he can't. And that's not boxing, right? Boom. Getting baited, throwing the shot. Again, he does not fight from the front foot. Immediately rolls. Nothing wrong with that. Is this how you're going to defend yourself, you guys? Every single time your opponent gets close to you, boom, boom, boom. What's up, bro? Let's just remove Mayweather. Don't even look at Mayweather. Just look at Pacquiao. Now just look at Mayweather. Look at how much energy he's using. Again, Mayweather doesn't catch punches. He doesn't block punches. I know he does a couple parries on the jab. Sick parries. Sick parries that turn into twos. Sick, man. Really good. But not blocking punches. Not pulling punches. He doesn't get his weight to the ground on defense. And because he can't get under any punches and then counter, he can only go when his opponent feints him here. This is the only time because he's not going to trust himself to get under a punch, right? He has to go. He has to prevent them from going further into the sequences. Right? Again, Mayweather is a phenomenal athlete. Very, very difficult to fight, right? But if you're not allowed to cheat and eventually just being fast and throwing your fastest punch at the line, and having so many fast punches, if you can't create long sequences, if you have no head movement and you don't have any punching power and you don't trust yourself to throw any of those punches to control space because your opponent's going to counter them, this is essentially what's going to happen. You're going to get put in the corner and your opponent's just allowed to throw free punches at you. But this is what the rules say. You're not allowed to duck below the waist. You're not allowed to put your head down there. If you're not controlling space, right? What happens to a beginner? What happens to a beginner in the gym, right? Oh, well, he gets stuck in this position on his back foot and he just gets pounded on, right? That's boxing, okay? You don't get, throws a punch, right? Ducks below the waist. Either you have to compete with your opponent's energy levels, right? If they're throwing heaters at you, you better move. And you got to move just as fast as they do. You can't just duck below the waist, right? Grab him. And now look at 3 fouls in a row. He's holding him, grabbing him by the waist, and he's punching him. 3 fouls in a row. This is not boxing, guys. He lost all those sequences. He can't just rely on the fact that he's the more explosive, the faster athlete, because, eventually your opponent, oh, I saw the jab. I've seen jabs before. I've seen rear hands. I'll get used to the timing. You pick them off, and then you find your counters, right? And again, we're going to see. We're going to see. But the ref look at how much time is being wasted here. Now look at, he's being told to let go, and he's still holding. He's been told how many times, and he's still holding, right? Again, Mayweather's never really trying to land really hard shots. Boom. Is he pull? Is he down? Is he in a position to counter? Pacquiao falls a little bit off balance. Boom. Isn't able to land his punch. Isn't able to control him on first contact. Where's his second contact? Is he in good position? Is this where you guys want to be in your sparring? All right, round 2. Boom, boom. Again, ducking below the waist. Now check this out. He didn't hold. Right? Boom, boom. He even gets hit to the body here. Miss, miss, miss. Comes up. Controls with the arm a little bit. But there's a scene of Ricky Hatton catching Luis Collazo with the same exact move. Drops him, right? Because he doesn't try to hold. Right? The 1 foul ducking below the waist. Ugh, okay, you chicken. Warn him, right? You can be more precise with your roll. Okay? Be more precise. You're the best in the world. Some little kid in some gym's doing it better than you, Mayweather. You got to put your head between your legs. But if you adjust your roll and you don't allow him to foul and you don't allow him to hold, right? All Mayweather has are these incredible, super fast, snappy defenses. And it's very, very difficult to keep these things going on for all 12 rounds. It's not just hard to box, but it's hard to be fast, right? All 12 rounds. Now, here comes the jab. Pacquiao parries it perfectly, okay? No follow-up from Mayweather, right? Now Mayweather comes to the line, and you remember the last time he did that and it got parried? He comes with the hook, just like last time. Comes with the hook, okay? Now check this out. Leaning on top of him, and Mayweather literally jumps on top of him, okay? Now I know Pacquiao kind of gave him like an exaggerated little pull, right? Here he is here. And now Mayweather's going to lean on top of him, though. And I think Pacquiao kind of sees it coming a little bit. Again, Mayweather's not looking to follow up on his hook. Look at how much control he got of him with the hook. But he's not looking to fight off of it. After he makes it to that position, he's not looking to chain anything off of it. He just looks to spoil the fight, again, because he's not good at getting his weight to the ground. After Tank Davis throws that jab and pulls and gets under that punch mid-sequence because he's no longer planted, he's had to readjust. And again, we're going to talk about it in the training. We're going to look at the training footage. We're going to look at a bunch of shit. But he doesn't have a way to readjust mid-sequence. The sequences can only be first and second contact, and then he has to leave. Or he has to get into a position where he can hold his opponents down. Okay? Now, sometimes there's nothing wrong with it, for one beat. But look at it. Both of his hands are on his head. This is completely deliberate, right? But this is one of those things that Mayweather likes to do to wear his opponents out. Because he's going to kind of dance and he's going to throw one fast, hard punch at you. You're going to react and then he's going to run. And you're not really going to use any energy. So then he's going to tie you up. Or he's going to throw a punch at you, and when he can get in control of your neck, he's going to wrestle you and hold your head down and make you tire yourself out that way. But he doesn't box, right? He controls the line. He throws fast punches, right? He will not let you set stuff up against him. Nothing wrong with that. But it costs energy. It costs space in the ring, right? You have to interact with your opponents. Stepping jab, not bad. Again, very high energy. And then again, getting caught with the cross here, right? These moves aren't free when your opponent pushes you off the line. Interacts with that. Pacquiao kind of parries Mayweather's stepping jab. Now again, how many stepping jabs do you get to throw at a guy? How many do you get to throw at a guy before he starts interacting with you? right? You don't just get to throw unlimited stepping jabs. Tank Davis said, what an idiot, 3 in a row. There's only so much space in the ring. Mayweather has only so many jabs, so many moves. Now here he is, jab. Does he defend his position? No. Pacquiao's able to close the distance with a rear hand to the body and then into a leaping cross. He kind of touches him there. Now check this out. After he throws that cross, Pacquiao gets down, right? Mayweather's trying to catch him with the hook. Now Pacquiao comes up trying to attack. Mayweather goes down. He can't come up with punches. Fundamentally, Pacquiao is a much, much, much more sound fighter than Mayweather. He can chain the sequences together better. He can pendulum better. I've never seen Mayweather really chase anybody with a pendulum move. He's not really a pendulum fighter. He fights planted. And again, we're going to talk about that. We're going to see him in his training footage. Setting the trap off of Pacquiao's jab. Boom. Pacquiao trying to fight off of it. Off that same timing. And again, you can kind of see the little dance between them. Mayweather goes, shoots his 2. Not in a great position. Not bad. Throws the hook. And almost gets hit peeling, right? Now, again, what punches is he going to throw? Well, he's going to throw one random punch and then he's going to leave the line, right? Look at his structure. Again, he doesn't really have any head movement. He doesn't really practice moving when he punches. Okay, and again, when we watch him train, we're going to take a look at his structure. We're going to take a look at when he's moving, taking a look at all of his fun stuff. Ooh, my throat. But we have still a lot of clips to go over. But again, catching this jab here, right, and then coming to the body, and now again following up with another leaping shot from Pacquiao. But again, Mayweather has only so many ways to interact with Pacquiao before Pacquiao figures out. And again, remember early in the fight, he was parrying that rear hand, right? The very, very first clip, Mayweather was looking to not let him land any left hands to the body. And here he is, penduluming off the line. That move is not free. And Pacquiao kind of catching him with his little gazelle punch. Again, Pacquiao's not very good with that move. He does it a lot, but he doesn't know what to do with his feet to fix the move. Again, check out the Fouts Boxing combat system. It'll teach you how to drill, how to do the stuff correctly, how to learn the correct moves so that you don't wind up so off balance like Pacquiao does. But again, Pacquiao's starting to follow up those little ways that Mayweather controls the line. Baits this one out. He still kind of gets cracked. But check Mayweather try to not exactly dart, but throws this shot. Now, the referee needs to check this out because after he throws this shot, look at where he puts his hands. Again, this is illegal, right? You cannot grab your opponent or put your hands on them. But he's trying to control him while he spins and peels off the line. I respect the control game, okay? Don't do it with both hands, okay? Don't put your arms around your opponent. Again, that's one of those things that he does to try to control space after he wastes his first contact because he cannot throw a right hand, pull, and then come up with a punch. He cannot fight from his front foot position, so he has to look to spoil. Jab. Pacquiao again, same timing, comes forward with jab, tries to get lead foot dominance. Mayweather immediately disrupts him. Boom. Very quick. Very, very quick. Now, times him, right? Pacquiao's trying to get him to go. He's like, hey, feints him, right? Mayweather says, okay, I'm going to go, throw that shot. Pacquiao pulls, right? Now, again, Mayweather does not fight from his front foot very well. He doesn't get planted. He always exerts himself. He uses the rear hand, throws a shot, and he kind of uses the momentum to kind of go forward. He doesn't know exactly what to do with it, but his feet come off the ground. Like he's not going to shift exactly, but he doesn't know what to do with it, and he kind of just pendulums forward. But Pacquiao cracks him. Okay? Again, Mayweather has been using this punch to control space against Pacquiao and keep him from getting on the line. And now eventually he throws the shot too many times, and Pacquiao's hitting him hard, taking away his ability to control space with this punch. Okay? And then cracking him again, even without that shot. And again, taking away his ability to control space with these punches fundamentally puts him more often in position where he's on the ropes and has to resort to ducking below the waist to defend himself. The more his tools get taken away, and again, Mayweather is fundamentally a first and second contact fighter, very good at those, but he's very limited in the ways that he can interact with his opponent because he doesn't catch punches, he doesn't block punches. I know he's got a couple of parries, right? But he has to immediately leave the line. He has very few follow-ups after that. But he can't parry and stalk you, right? He's parrying the double jab timing, and it's not exactly the same, right? But again, even if you just gave him Pacquiao 1 point for a power punch, the amount of times that Mayweather ducks below the waist and holds, right? Again, holding is a big problem because now Pacquiao doesn't have control of his weight. Mayweather's much bigger than him, so he can just, wrestle him, and he can't get any weight into the ground to punch. Okay. But if Pacquiao can't correct these things, right? Stop Mayweather from ducking below the waist, because that's also how he stops people from penduluming on him, right? Once you start your pendulum, he just ducks below the waist immediately, right? So you're not going to get to him with the hard shot. And you waste, your time, you waste your energy. Again, how many times are you going to throw that rear hand probe, right? Now check this out. Here comes the rear hand probe again. Pacquiao counters him just a little bit. Boom. Almost gets a shot. Mayweather pulls. Look at his defense. Is he getting to the ground like Tank Davis? No. He's trying to control and peel, right? Now, you might say that was a very dangerous sequence for Mayweather. Well, boxing is a very dangerous sport, right? Score points and don't get scored on, as some might say, right? But when all you can really do is hit and not get hit, right? That's all. That's it. It's going to be dangerous, right? Now, again, getting him in the corner, what's Mayweather going to do? Doesn't trust any of his probes. He doesn't trust his first or his second contact. He's been slowly getting outboxed. Pacquiao's worked his way in. He's weaved his way through the lines to get close enough to find opportunities to throw punches. And Mayweather ducks below the waist and grabs him, right? Very tall. Again, why is Mayweather not catching punches? Why is he not circling? Why is he not blocking? Why is he not pull countering? Pull counter is a very common defense, right? But where are Mayweather's? Okay, holding, and again, when is he told by the ref to let go? Okay, well, here's the ref, still holding, still punching, still holding, still not letting go, right? And again, because he doesn't want to fight you, he just wants to drain the clock, move around, throw punches, and then get his hands on top of you. Because again, he's not good at fighting at first contact. He's not trying to look to set up pull counters or set moves up off of his jabs, set moves up off of his moves. He's going to hold you. He's going to lean on you, right? And he's purposely putting all of his weight on Pacquiao and on his neck here, right? There's no opportunity, right? Here's his pull, right? Now, that was a little egregious. I don't know if... yeah, it's egregious from Pacquiao as well. I do want to say that. Ooh, here we go. All right, don't worry. We still got a lot of clips, guys. A lot of clips. Now, again, following him around, gets planted. Pacquiao tries to slip to the front foot. Mayweather throws a rear hand, climbs on top of him, puts him in a headlock. Again, Mayweather did something. He threw a punch. Do you guys know what happens when Hector Garcia throws a punch? He gets beat up. Right? It's dangerous to throw punches, right? If you don't cheat and you don't lean and hold on top of the guy, right? Hector Garcia had an opportunity here to defend himself. He just doesn't know how. He just wasn't ready for Tank, right? Now, some control is okay. Some control is okay. But this is not okay. And Pacquiao is not going to be able to bridge the gap between him and Mayweather if he can't stop him from ducking below the waist. Again, fighting off of his own jab. Again, Mayweather can't throw that punch forever. Here it's getting parried, and he's getting countered, right? And then counter to the body. Now again, here's Mayweather's trusty rear hand to the body. Boom. Pacquiao's flicking that jab out there. He's like, oh, I'm going to find him. Okay? But again, Mayweather has only so many forms of offense. Here comes that rear hand probe to control space. Right when he gets cut in the corner, he only has a few options, right? Jab, hook, rear cross, or duck below the waist because he doesn't actually Philly shell. He just cheats, right? Throws that punch, and look at Pacquiao crack him, right? How many times is that move going to work for him, right? He knows where his head's going to go. Eventually, he's going to pay for it. And Mayweather is still trying to get control here, right? But Pacquiao has an excellent pull counter here. Boom, down, comes in with the hook. I can't remember that guy's name, but there's a guy who has a similar hook. It's actually similar to the one Mendoza got hit. Mendoza? No. Who's that guy who's like 6'7"? Brian Mendoza hit him with it. But anyway, the Mendoza hook, right, off the back foot, pull counter like. But Mayweather doesn't fight off of his front foot very well. He doesn't fight off of his punches very well. He's a first and second contact fighter, and here he is getting beat here, trying to spoil the fight, right? And again, he has only so many moves, and so many of them are based off first contact. Here he is getting to that position, and he's going to go first, and he's just going to throw something hard and fast at Pacquiao and try to make him interact with it. Boom. But check Pacquiao out. He gets into this position before Mayweather was even ready, right? Mayweather tries to go down and tries to go up. Look at him accidentally doing it. He tries to jump into that. Down, up. Pacquiao blocks it like a champ. Mayweather doesn't move his head. He doesn't catch. He doesn't block. He tries to spoil and almost gets clipped by Pacquiao's Manila Ice right there. Now, is what Mayweather's doing legal? Throws that shot, lands, boom, kind of lands, right? It's kind of blocked, shoves Pacquiao. Is this good defense? Is he fighting off of that rear hand? No, that's not good defense. He's cheating, right? No, he's definitely showing how limited he is, though, because he can't fight off of his own two. Of course, Stevenson has a 2-3, right? Right? Come on. He has a 2-3. So, again, check this out, you guys. Is this boxing? Look at where Mayweather's head is at. It's at his own knee. If I was Manny Pacquiao, I would throw a gazelle punch right here. And you know how his leg always kicks out? Just kick this guy in the face. His head shouldn't be down there, and if I don't bring my foot above his waist, I shouldn't be able to hit him. Right? Right? But this is not boxing. And Mayweather has to do this because he can only fight off of first and second contact. He doesn't have pull counters. He doesn't get his weight to the ground. Again, all these flaws. And again, people think he's the greatest, right? This is what happens when you don't cheat, right? You eat a bunch of punches, right? The guy jumps on your line. Oh, now you cheat. Okay, you cheat. Still gets clipped a little bit, right? Catching the jab. Oh, look at that. He threw a jab. Okay, cool. Oh, he threw another jab. Got Pacquiao that time, right? Stepping jab. Damn. Pacquiao, look at him. Look at him say that. Come on. Come on. You know what they say, right? Only an idiot throws the same punch 3 times in a row. Stepping jab. Bop! And Pacquiao smacks him. Mayweather had to use 3 stepping jabs to control space, to keep himself from getting on the ropes, to keep himself from getting into a position where he had to duck below the waist and hold and still get hit. And he got cracked. And he's going to get hurt here, and Pacquiao's just going to be able to jump on his line and land another free punch. Boom, 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 boom. We're not going to watch the whole thing. You guys have seen it. This is not a highlight. We're teaching boxing here. But Mayweather has such limited ways, right? Why isn't Mayweather getting to this position here? Boom. And then following up. Why is he not able to score from here? Right? And look at Pacquiao's already ready, by the way, for that jab. He's already ready trying to parry it. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Get out of here, right? Boom. Parried that easy. Anyway, we saw it. Okay. Oh, by the way, the entire full fight film study is on Patreon. If you guys want to check it out, it's on. It's $10 to sign up, $10 a month. If you guys want private coaching as well, stay tuned. I have some very, 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 very exciting boxing coaching news coming up. a real Fouts Boxing Academy. No spoilers, no nothing, but very, very cool stuff. Should be coming up in a few weeks, so stay tuned. But the Patreon, the full fight film studies, you guys want to check out other fight film studies. I can't put them on YouTube because of copyright and stuff, but they are full fight film studies, live. I watch the fight for the first time, tell you guys what I'm thinking, what I'm seeing, and all that cool stuff. There's a 7-day free trial if you guys want to check it out. And I try to do all the major fights. I'll do pre-fight film studies as well. And a lot of that stuff, like I already went over a lot of this stuff in the on Patreon and stuff. But anyway, back to the film study. Eating a shot for what? Right? Again, is this good defense, you guys? Is this the guy that people say has the greatest defense ever? When he's not allowed to duck below the waist, eats a body shot, eats a body shot, eats a headshot, eats another headshot, eats another headshot, but that one's kind of sloppy, doesn't make good contact. And what? And what? Does Mayweather ever catch punches, block punches? He's not blocking. His hands are up, but this is not a block. Right? Greatest defense ever? No. Mayweather's a cheater. Mayweather got babied. Now here he is. How many times have you seen Mayweather do this off of Pacquiao's jab? Right? Pull, boom, leaping shot, bop, bop, follow up. Look at how many times he hit him. Pull, down, up, boom, boom. Feinting him here. Now, again, Mayweather's first contact, right? The jab's not working. He got hurt when he threw the jab. He got hit hard when he threw the jab that time. Here he is, his trusty body shot. Boom. Eventually, it's just not good enough to fight off of first contact. And here he is, losing that tool as well. So he got countered when he threw his jab and he got hit hard. Countered when he threw his jab, when he got hit hard. Now again, Mayweather's not very good at pulling, right? He's not very good at fighting off of his own punches. Here comes a jab. Pull, right? Leans on top of him, right? How similar is this, you guys? Right? Pacquiao's ready, though. That's what Pacquiao was hoping for, right? He'd be setting traps right here. But Mayweather literally jumps on top of him because he's a limited fighter, right? And gets away with it. Now, again, great shot. Controlling first contact. Pacquiao has no chance with his jab here. Boom. Excellent rear hand probe. Pulls straight back. Why does he still want to be in this position? Why does he throw the same shot twice in a row? Pacquiao comes in. Mayweather gets away with it because he ducks below the waist, right? So he's going to throw a rear hand. He's going to make it to position 1. He's done the hard part already. Pushes Pacquiao off. Pacquiao's in a terrible position. Where's the leaping left cross? Where's the leaping left hook? Why is he not able to leave this position? Why is he not able to create a pull counter from this position? Why is he not able to take advantage? Okay, again, I know you guys know. Now he makes it to the same position again. Here comes Pacquiao. Instead of throwing a left hook right at Pacquiao as Pacquiao crosses the line and knocks him out. I think, who is it that's done that? Does Pacquiao do that to Marquez? Is that when that happens? I don't know. Anyway, ducks below the waist, cheats after exerting himself. This is the cost of business. You have to throw punches to control space to keep your opponent from getting close enough to hit you. But Mayweather, as soon as they get close enough, he ducks below the waist and grabs you, right? Not boxing. Okay? So, even if you get your opponent on first contact, right, there's still more to the fight. Body shot, right? Follows him up. Again, his normal tools, they're just not good enough, right? It becomes increasingly easier to interact with somebody, especially somebody that's especially the hell was I saying? Oh, when you're throwing the same punch at him, right? You're using the same combinations, the same sequences, right? It's going to be easier and easier to interact with him. Going back to that same shot in the 5th round. Again, following it up. Again, the pendulum step is not free, right? It's high energy, and your opponent can pendulum step and throw leaping shots as well. Again. Now, is this not the closest thing that you've seen to modern day sequences? And again, Mayweather pulling. But look at his pull. It does not feed into more offense. He has to take a break to get himself planted with this jab, and then throws the shot, and Pacquiao's gone. Terrible roll, right? The jab comes. He tries to get under the thing. Again, is this boxing? Is this legal? Right? Look at the position that he comes up. Look at his back leg. Is this good boxing, guys? And I mean, come on, Pacquiao. You're looking like an idiot letting this guy get away with that shit. No, I'm just kidding. Ducking below the waist and holding. It's tough to fight a guy who fights like this. It is. Now, one of the first times that he ever gets to the line after controlling with the lead hand, right? So he's going to control. What do you think about that? No response from Pacquiao, no counter. Gets to the line with the control, right? Follows him up. Finally, many of you that are new to boxing, you may know this, you may not know this, but this is a very common sequence known as the 1-2. It's known as the 1-2. I don't know if you guys know how common the 1-2 is supposed to be, but Mayweather doesn't have a lot of 1-2s in him where he'll control you with one move and then hit you with another move. No, because he wants to just control you with one move and then move and then just hope you don't hit him, right? So here he is following it up and then following it up a little bit. Gets blocked. Okay, Pacquiao blocks that one. Control. Pacquiao comes down, gets under that shot, and now Mayweather grabs his head, holds him, and again is jumping on top of him. Pacquiao escapes. And again, like I was telling you earlier in the film study, when the guy escapes the head control and he doesn't sit underneath you, right? Pacquiao can sit underneath you and Mayweather will hold you down and put weight on your neck and your head and stress you out, or you can leave and he'll try to smack you. Right? Mayweather is like the best modern day boxer, wrestler. Maybe he should try to UFC. Jab, excellent counter right there from Mayweather, right? Now check this out, right? Boom, stepping jab, sick, right? Moving around, boom, beautiful boxing, steal a body shot. Ooh, almost, dang. But look at the intensity in this 8 seconds, right? This is 8 seconds. Stand up. Stand up and try to move and cover this much ground and throw that many punches that fast and that sharp. And now every 8 seconds, you have to do this for the next 3 minutes. For the next 36 minutes. Okay? Again, if you can't fight off your punches, if you can't really control your opponent, and you have to resort to ducking below the waist, spoiling, holding your opponent in positions like this, look at him. Look at how long he's going to hold him. And he's still holding his head. After the ref told him stop. He's still leaning on him. Right? How good is this guy? Tries to counter. Miss. Right? No big deal. Okay. Jab, pull, right? Boom, boom. Come on, hit him with that Tank Davis stuff. Oh, you're just going to duck below the waist and grab him on the waist. Oh, I see. Okay, that's cool, man. Yeah. Don't worry, guys. We have a lot of training footage to go over as well. Mayweather circling, right? Gets planted, throws the 2. Uh-oh, same counter as before, right? Circling. Look at how high energy this is. Look at what the cost of business is, right? Someone throwing punches at you. That's the cost of business. When you get close to a guy, he's going to throw punches at you, right? When a guy gets close to you, you got to throw punches at him. You got to control him. If you just let a guy walk up to your line, he's going to beat you up. And Mayweather just, I know he's a fit guy, but it's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly difficult to do that for 12 rounds. to throw punches every single time a guy gets close to you. Okay, now we're going to take a look at a bunch of training from Mayweather. Okay, here he is on the double in bag. Now, check this out. Boom, boom. See him pull here? This would be a front foot pull counter. Look at his structure. Look at how his back heel's still on the ground. Bad. Look at how he comes up. Did he come up and attack? No. Here he goes to the back foot. Is this a pull counter? Look at how he comes up. Did he come up with an attack? No. He came up with a left hand, which would be a control. Very similar to how he threw the right hand, then he pulled straight back, and then he came in with the one when I told you he couldn't get planted. So here he is getting planted, so he can touch it with the next move. Now, this is not easy, right? It's not that this is easy to do, but there are a lot of holes in his routine. Now, is he circling this thing? Is he moving? No. He's planted. This is a striking exercise, right? He's planted. He's just moving. He can move very quickly, right? If we talk about the very, very, very first scene where Pacquiao hits him with a double jab, but it's not hitting him, right? He goes 1-1, 2 feint, and Mayweather goes catch the jab, interact, catch the jab, interact, catch the rear hand, interact, right? But look at how quickly Mayweather can make decisions, right? Look at how quickly he can go from one position to another, right? Mayweather is one of the fittest and strongest athletes in boxing ever, for sure. I don't know if he did it without steroids, right? Which means that, maybe it doesn't really count all that much because, other guys have also been super fit and on steroids. Sugar Ray Leonard says he was not on steroids. Man, I want to believe him because he's a pretty earnest guy. But I have talked to a few people who have said, that were fighters in that day, and they said that everyone was on him. And I don't know if that meant that they were on him too, you know what I'm saying? But here we go as we watch his training. And now, beautiful, crisp, sharp, interesting to watch, right? Flashy, right? Sharp, right? You see that last sequence that we played of Mayweather, right? What does the fight look like? What does the fight look like if the guy has to follow you around, right? Right? You got to be sharp and snappy and move, and you got to do all these cool, fun things. Where's that really good one? Maybe it's too far back, right? Bop, bop, right? Be sharp, be fast. You got to do your moves. There was one where here it is. Yeah, bop, bop, pull, boom, boom. Look at how quick and sharp and snappy you got to be. And here he is, sharp and snappy from position to position. Beautiful, right? He's going to have some real cool stuff in here, right? Hand speed is sick, flowing a little bit. But he's basically planted the whole time, right? A lot of decisions per minute, a little bit of head movement right there. Have you ever seen Mayweather block a punch? You ever see him catch a punch? I mean, I'm sure you've seen him block a punch like one time, this one time at band camp, whatever. Right? Sharp, snappy, right? It's not like he's not getting a workout, right? He's definitely getting a workout. And I want to say, Mayweather notoriously in shape, notoriously strong, right? And a very big part of why Mayweather had success, as we saw. He was strong and fit enough to be first or to be second, even though he couldn't really do anything after that stuff, right? Except for spoil the fight. Use his strength and fitness, right? Here's that move, gets on that front foot position, right? Here he is. Controls that space, pivots on the front foot, tries to get off. Very similar move that he would do. He picks that one up toward the second half of the Pacquiao fight as a way to get away from Pacquiao. As Pacquiao tries to take lead foot dominance. It mostly winds up working out for him. I think he gets hit like a couple of times, but again, we fight how we train. Right? Where's the blocking? Where's the defense? Where's the catching punches and countering? Where's the pull counters? Right? A little bit of messing around here. Right? Okay, a little bit of fitness here. Real quick, I want to pause real quick and go back to the double in bag. See that move here? That's his pull counter. This is where he practices it. Right? It's right there. Okay? A little bit of fitness, a couple of punches. Okay? Planted most of the time, not a lot of circling. Look at how quick that is, by the way. Look at this. Ta ta ta, right? Oh man. It's not like all mechanically perfect, but no head movement, right? Just like in his fights. Okay? Just like we were talking about here, he's going to throw that combination here. Pop, pop. No head movement. His head's basically in the same spot. Boom, where it's going to end with the two. Here it is. Not really moving. He actually gets hit before he even starts that punch. But where's the defense, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Enough of this silly stuff. Let's take a look at some other. Now, this is actually a video that is really interesting. Okay, Ali, notorious for moving and hitting, right? Here he is practicing on a moving heavy bag, right? Okay, pretty cool. Some little sequences. It's not perfect, not a lot of head movement either, right? But the bag is moving. Okay, important. Here we go. Now, Pacquiao, someone we know has pretty good foot movement, right? Pretty good hand speed. Practices penduluming, practices moving, right? His actual opponent. Look at how he uses his heavy bag, right? A lot of punches, a lot of sequences here. A little bit of head movement. How often we see Pacquiao block punches? Nah, not that much either, right? He does pull punches quite a bit. Chasing, leaping stuff. We can see him practicing all that stuff here too. Now here's Floyd Mayweather. Now I want to tell you guys, if we watch this whole thing, he does not take a break. These are not soft punches. Okay? This is not an easy routine. Right? But notice, here's these punches here. I don't want to pause it too much just because we have a lot of film to watch, a lot of training to watch, right? But these are him throwing his power punches. Boom. No head movement. You see how he threw that sequence like that? Very similar, but backwards to the one where he got hit and smacked by Berto because his head is in that position. Okay? But where's the footwork? Right? Essentially, he's practicing being planted here the whole time. He's taking small, tiny little footsteps that sometimes are going to very similar. When he's controlling with the lead hand, he'll just take a small step off the line, right? And he has the small footwork here, right? Again, no head movement, right? Boom, boom. Are these punches? Right? Are these punches? Because this looks more like a strength and conditioning routine to me. How much of this is boxing, right? Is he practicing getting on the line or getting off the line? Right? Pacquiao practiced getting on the line and off the line. Right? I don't want to pause that. I want to go back. But we saw he had different sequences or different places, right? But after Mayweather throws a punch, he doesn't have a lot of great systems for getting off or setting up other sequences, right? He doesn't move into more pull counters. Yes, I know he'll throw the right hand and he'll duck and he'll dart sometimes, right? I know. But how often does it pull into more punches? Right? Now, this is not an easy routine. This is tough. This is hard work. But notice his heavy bag is sitting still. Notice he's not using any footwork. He's not moving around the bag. Right? This is why Mayweather doesn't really circle his opponent. Right? He's just dragging you around until he can get you. He'll jab and jab and jab or rear hand and do something or throw a hook or throw something fast or throw something snappy. That's because he's so strong and he's so in shape. And most boxers were idiots at the time, right? Strength and fitness and people understanding what they're supposed to be doing in boxing has come a long way, especially in terms of like lifting weights and just being strong, you know? When I was growing up, people were like, oh, you don't want to lift weights. You don't want to get bulky. You want to be fast and loose. And it's like, shut up. You don't actually know anything about being an athlete. Thanks for that terrible advice. But this is part of the reasons why Mayweather can make so many decisions, because he can throw so many punches and this and that, and he doesn't, you know. But it's difficult to do this, stuff like this, all 12 rounds, right? Notice, how many times has he practiced anything defensive in this? Where are the blocks? Where are the catches? Where are the slips? Where are the rolls? It's all punches. And when Mayweather gets on the line, it's all punches, right? He'll pull straight back, like we saw on the double in bag, but it's all punches, right? There's his hooks. You see him practicing his power punches right here? No head movement, right? There's more efficient ways to do it, right? And he could get better. You got to practice your power punches at some point. I do want to say that you have to, right? Now, here we go. Take a look at some very, very famous. This is him versus Maidana, his training camp. And again, this is because of the fact that they're on the line the whole time. They're not practicing anything about getting on the line or off the line. And again, in the Fouts boxing combat system, everything takes place in 3 phases. Getting on the line, right? Then you're striking, and then getting off the line. And this is, if you were fighting a big fat guy who you couldn't knock out, right? This is a really long striking routine. Now, when we see Mayweather do stuff like this, is that a block? Is this a block? We know he sees it coming and he's going to interact with it. But is this a pull counter? Is this a block? Is this a catch? Mayweather doesn't block punches. Mayweather doesn't catch punches. Mayweather doesn't really slip and counter punches, right? That's his pull, right? Look at this slip here, right? There was that. But why doesn't he ever come back with any counters, right? When he does move. Do you ever see him do this move or do anything other than peeling off the line when he does manage to slip? And I don't actually see him slipping here this much. I don't. I usually see him going first or just leaving, right? But this one, right? Coming back with that right hand, right? Pull, right? He does that move, right? This move, right? If he throws a right hand, boom, boom, pull, right hand, and then he throws the right hand. Remember when he threw the right hand at Pacquiao, and then he just went was it 1-2 roll or something roll? But anyway, 2 roll, and it was that big exaggerated roll. There he is practicing it, right? Now, nothing wrong with that, right? But we did see that it was right off of Pacquiao's. Oh, that's what it was. It was Pacquiao's feint, right? Pacquiao feinted. He threw the right hand and then tried to roll off the line. Very high energy way to control space between you and your opponent and to run time on the clock, right? So, again, that's not a block, right? But again, watch Mayweather, again, move himself into the corner here. And now he's going to start taking small little steps here, right? And again, he does that in his fights, right? But he's taking small steps and moving around, right? Let's not even count that pivot. He doesn't really do that stuff that much. But he's not going to stay in the same place, right? When do you ever see him do that in a fight? But taking small steps, and this is one of the ways that he'll control you and use these little movements, these subtle movements and these positions and this beat and that beat and drag you around the ring like he's doing his uncle, right? Even though he's got some silly stuff in there, that behind the back crap. What the hell? Come on now. But again, this is all striking, right? Mayweather has to get planted. He's going to move and move and move. And then he's going to throw one fast punch. And he's going to move and move and move. And he's going to duck below the waist. He's going to move and move and move. And he's going to hold you. Right? Now, again, a little bit of striking, right? Again, all the same position. Doesn't really move his head very much. And just real quick, you guys. There's no reason you can't just do this on the heavy bag. You don't need a guy to wear a chest protector for you. You can, you don't need a guy to hold mitts for you. Especially if you have the Fouts boxing combat system. But anyway, just practicing some striking, right? Not a lot of head movement, fighting all in the same position. His head's in the same spot the whole time. Just like when he fights, that's why he has to move his head so much. He can't move it to the back foot. Back to the mitts. Again, catching, blocking punches. No, he'll have to just duck below the waist. You ever see him do stuff like this in a fight? Slipping punches like this? No, don't do that either. But we'll move on a little bit to some of his bag work again, right? Now this one has a little bit of tiny foot movement, right? But again, Mayweather doesn't pendulum step onto people. Right? Like Tank Davis jabbed, saw a punch coming, pendulumed, got to the ground, and then came back with the counter, right? But there was a pendulum step there. Because Mayweather's heavy bag doesn't move at all, he doesn't really practice that. He's always in range. He's always on the line, just like he was with the mitts, right? When does he box this bag? When does he get off the line and work on his entries? Well, he doesn't have entries because either he controls the line so you can't hit him with the jab and he can counter you on second contact, but he doesn't have to move, or he hits you on first contact, but he doesn't have to move his head either way. Right? And again, he doesn't really practice moving around and doing that stuff. Even in the shadow boxing, every beat was him punching, right? Okay, again, combination, boom, boom. Where's the head movement, right? It's very subtle, right? It's very subtle, right? Huh? 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 But if someone were throwing a punch at him, the likelihood that they would still get him, very, very, very high, especially if his target isn't this giant heavy bag, right? But again, here's a little bit of boxing here, right? A little bit of jab, 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 right? Real quick, we're going to play a little bit of another guy who has a pretty good routine. You guys might know him, Vasily Lomachenko. Yes, of course you guys do. But look at him practicing actual boxing moves on the bag. You see him penduluming around, and we all know he's got a really good pendulum step, right? Practicing his slipping, but practicing real boxing moves. He's not just doing conditioning on the bag. He's not just tap, 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 tap. And those are not soft taps from Mayweather, even though they're consistent, right? And it's not as hard as he can. They're not soft, right? See that drill? That's the same drill that Pacquiao or that Mayweather was just practicing on the mitts, right? He's practicing it here to work on his striking a little bit, right? Even though Mayweather's striking sucks. But Lomachenko doesn't need someone to hold mitts for him. He can use the bag, right? But again, I just wanted to point out that Lomachenko on average, he will slip punches. He has more conventional, he has more body mechanically appropriate pull counters, so he can have longer sequences, right? Which we've seen Mayweather has consistently been unable to do in his training or in his fights as well, right? But Lomachenko actually practices skills, actually practices moving from one side of the line, practices head movement, practices, right, a repertoire of different boxing moves, right? Penduluming and moving, and anyway, more about Mayweather. See what else we got here. Now, this is a long routine, okay? Again, Mayweather throws a lot of punches, okay? He throws a lot of punches. He's incredibly fit. And again, it's one of the reasons why he's so successful, okay? I don't think he knows all the best ways to use the speed bag either, but now, again, good double in bag work. And now, look at how much, I call it drag, right? But look at after he punches, how much extra room there is after he punches. See how his kind of hand kind of gets there and it kind of swings here, right? Again, he's not very sharp with his punches. He's not very sharp. He doesn't have good structure. He doesn't have, and it shows that he doesn't have that much control over his actual power punches here. And this is why he doesn't fight off these punches. When he throws that hook, this is why he doesn't fight off that hook. When he throws that right hand, this is why he doesn't fight off that right hand. Even though he's not falling off balance, he doesn't have complete control over his hands and his arms and stuff. Now, the last clip that we're going to take a look at here, Floyd Mayweather jumping rope, and he was notoriously pretty okay at jumping rope, okay? I don't know what kind of rope that is. It looks like a regular, like, plastic rope. It's not bad, right? I prefer, like, weighted ropes. But it's very important that you understand when you're thinking about what your rope routine is supposed to look like, that you just do a lot of stuff, right? And the speed at which Mayweather can rope and move and do this stuff is similar to the speed at which he can move in the ring and perform moves. Again, catching Pacquiao's double jab feint into the right hand feint, jab, jab, catch, right? Parry, 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 and pendulum off the line. He's able to make all those decisions because of how quickly he can jump rope, right? Now, some good routine, some good stuff. Again, Mayweather was, an animal, an absolute animal in the gym. Worked out really hard. Again, very fit, very strong. And how many people do you see with, comprehensive jump rope routines like this? In my opinion, I think the jump rope is, the best way to get in shape and get strong. Look at how fast he can move. Look at how quickly he can make decisions and go from one position in the rope to the other, right? Now, if you watch a lot of people jump rope, you watch a lot of stuff, you can see that there's still a lot of things that are missing from Mayweather's routine. He's like pretty okay with it, but there's a lot of stuff that he's not really doing. And to be honest, I wouldn't actually expect to get to see all of Mayweather's jump rope routine. He's one of the few guys that I think, you know, you wouldn't get to see, but, he probably shows the fun ones. He's mostly showing off. I like that one where he throws it to the side and he jumps through and then he goes through the side. He was doing it a few seconds ago. That one right there. Those, yeah, I like those a lot. I think they're pretty fun. I have a cross rope and it's kind of tough to do that sometimes with the cross rope because it's so thick. But an animal, an animal. And again, all of these things are why Mayweather was so successful. He was so strong, so fit, snappy, right? If you think that you can't develop hand speed and you're born with it, learn to jump rope like this guy, right? Look at how fast his hands are going, right? Just jump rope. You'll get there. Promise. But Mayweather's overall ability to fight off of first contact is very limited. Fighters like Roberto Duran, fighters like Thomas Hearns, fighters like Marvin Hagler, all of these guys, I think, would have beaten Floyd Mayweather. And Marvin Hagler would have been much more equipped to deal with somebody ducking below the waist as someone who can shift. I think that, Leonard, obviously he's a little bit taller than Mayweather, but, he beat his dad, and I think that Mayweather, that shoulder roll stuff, if he's not ducking below the waist, Sugar Ray Leonard was fast. Sugar Ray Leonard is his era's Floyd Mayweather. Works really, 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 really hard, but doesn't actually know what punch mechanics are, doesn't actually have like a consummate fight plan or strategy. Sugar Ray Leonard was just the fastest, strongest, most fit guy. Again, he says it wasn't from steroids or anything, but, who knows in that day and age. I'm not accusing him. Super nice guy. You see his training footage. You see that he works hard, right? But not a lot of head movement. He works really hard. He's fast, but I think that Sugar Ray Leonard also, just would have flat out beat him, and in back in the day, people were all fast and sharp and snappy and fast and could fight off of first contact. People on average were much better fighters. Mayweather fought in the weakest era in history. And again, when you look at his routines, where's the footwork? What is this? Not that one. Where's the footwork? Where's the moving around the bag, right? He has such a limited routine here, right? That things like this prevent him from really learning all the other skills in boxing, right? Again, number one, penduluming onto your opponent. We saw one instance where he double jabbed and then he threw a two, and then he threw another stepping jab and threw a two and chased Pacquiao, and then Pacquiao rebounded off the ropes and he held his head down. But that's one of the only times you'll ever see him really penduluming. And it was really sloppy. It was really bad. And again, he doesn't really practice it. He doesn't have a place to practice it because of his mitt style. Always on the line, right? Now, there's a time and place for that because, again, we can see the value of being strong and fit in Mayweather's case, right? Being so strong and being so fit that you always get to either go first or so close to second that on average you're going to win most of the sequences. Now, that's not always the case, though, right? We have Hector Garcia, who's, not Mayweather, right? But a guy like Tank Davis, who can get his weight to the ground, right, would really hurt somebody like Mayweather who can't move their head. A guy like Boots Ennis would really hurt a guy like Mayweather who can't move his head, right? Andre Berto hurt Mayweather a few times, catching him with really good punches. And he was also a very limited fighter from the 90s who learned how to box from a kickboxer. And they don't have head movement. But I think even a fighter like Keith Thurman, who I rate as a C-level fighter, but he's in fantastic shape, C+ for being strong and fast, right? Hard punching and being fast. C++, he would give Mayweather a very tough fight. Terence Crawford, I believe, would knock Mayweather out. Mayweather just doesn't practice all the skills necessary to compete with someone of these more, modern day fighters. Okay. Now I do want to say, okay, and this is where you got to give Mayweather a little bit of his props, right? A little bit of his props. In terms of like all-time greats. Anytime you say like all-time great, it's not like a little bit, but like you do have to recognize that Mayweather, for his generation, there just wasn't anybody better than him. Mostly, right? I do think on average Pacquiao, doesn't have the accomplishments, but didn't make the mistakes that Mayweather didn't make the mistakes that Pacquiao made, getting knocked out, right, by Marquez, and losing fights in general. Arguably Castillo won, maybe. But just like Michael Jordan, people think, oh, well, this guy is better. They didn't have these tricks back in the day. Well, here's the thing. Michael Jordan is the one that taught everyone that they could be that good in the first place, right? Right? Wasn't he the inspiration? And now everyone, actually I think, and that gives him like an all-time great GOAT status, right? Now, in my opinion, I don't know if you guys watch this guy Jimmy High Roller, but I love his like little analytics and stuff, and he talks about stuff in theory about placing people, and like I don't even watch basketball, but I watch his stuff. It's pretty cool. He did a video about how LeBron has been the archetype for great fighters or great basketball players. He's more fighters or more basketball players have fallen into the archetype of LeBron James in the last few years than in the Michael Jordan one. And I think that until somebody becomes a better fighter or a better basketball player than them, right? Like, maybe if you argue, oh, Steph Curry changed the game, right? Now everyone shoots threes as well, right? Now that's the archetype for the best basketball player is, LeBron Curry, right? Where's MJ in there? Right? If he's no longer the archetype, maybe he's the archetype of the archetypes, whatever it is. But I say all of that to say that there was a time where, but LeBron might be the best basketball player ever. He might be the GOAT because he creates the most archetypes. More people want to box like him. Now, there was an era where as Mayweather was getting better, everyone was trying, Philly shell must be the shit. Got to use the Philly shell. That's the one, right? Also, people were trying to fight in that very bladed stance. They're trying to fight, with that same pull counter, right? Look at Shakur. Look at Keyshawn Davis. Look at these guys, right? Look at how many fighters have taken the mold of Floyd Mayweather after Floyd Mayweather's success. There's a clip of Jose Benavidez' dad and David Benavidez' dad saying whatever Mayweather does, he doesn't do it on camera. Well, here he is, working freaking hard as shit. There's no secrets to what Mayweather does, right? He just trains hard. But there was a time where so many fighters were trying to be like Floyd Mayweather. And then Lomachenko came out and beat a bunch of people up and changed the landscape of what people thought they could accomplish and achieve in boxing. So much so that there was a time where Pacquiao or where Lomachenko was so far ahead of people were quitting because they didn't know how to fight him. They weren't as strong and athletic as him. And now people are kind of catching up. They can go rounds with him. He can't knock them out. I still think he beat Haney. I think that he beat Teofimo Lopez. And I think the fact that we have to watch Kambosos and him fight is a waste of time. He should knock Kambosos completely out, but he won't. Anyway, but people are catching up to first and second contact and the pull counters and controlling space. And the standard at which people fight today is much higher. But more people elect to fight like Lomachenko today than elect to fight like Floyd Mayweather. It's been proven more safe. It's been proven to be more effective, more easily trained. Because again, people think that they're not seeing what Mayweather's doing. When really it's just he trains so goddamn hard. He's so fast and so strong and so fit. He always gets to go first or second. Even though his structure is not very good. He throws so many punches. He's good at throwing punches, just not hard ones, right? But there was definitely a time where Mayweather had everyone fooled into thinking that he was the greatest fighter of all time, or could be. I wouldn't even have him in my top 100 fighters. Not even close, I don't think. Great accolades, but again, against a world of people who didn't know what head movement was, positioning. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned, you guys. Fouts Boxing, the Fouts Boxing, the Combat Academy, or the Fouts Boxing Academy is coming soon. Yeah, no tips. I'm not answering any questions about it, but it's going to be some really cool stuff. It's going to be really, really, really interesting. Yeah. Don't forget to check out the Fouts Boxing Combat System if you guys want to learn all of the tips and tricks to striking, how to get into position, how to get on the line, how to land all your best attacks, how to defend all your positions, and how to get off the line safely. Not only that, how to throw your best punch and how to improve your best punch, how to generate pound for pound punching power. Okay? And now I've been saying this, I've been talking about it for over a year, talking about teaching it. I have the most refined system in combat history. Okay? And I've been saying it for a long time, and nobody comes to my channel and says you're a liar. No one says that I'm wrong. No one says, okay? The reviews, check out the reviews. The reviews are insane. Okay? Anyway, yeah. Thanks, guys.